What's up, guys? Welcome back to Victoria's Daily Dose. I'm your girl Victoria, and what? I'm aware. That's why I'm doing it. And I have a special guest today. Max is here, and we're gonna talk about what I'm sure everybody is talking about at this point: the James Charles situation, and Tati Westbrook, and Gabriel Zamora, and now Nikita Dragon. And Jeffree Star.
Eliminate background noise.
If you want to. Alright, we're going to shut the door real quick so we don't have noise. So bear with me for a second. Alright. So, where to start? First of all, I want to say this. I made a video a couple days ago, basically in agreement with everybody else on the whole James situation and how basically I was okay with him being canceled. However, after more information has come out, I feel like I may have jumped a little bit too fast. And we're going to talk about that because I think that's only fair. So, first of all, I watched both videos of the waiter and the Gabe kid that went to Coachella with James.
And the what?
The Gabe kid.
Gabe kid.
Yeah, his name's Gabe. And I kind of feel like, first of all, I feel like the waiter was pretty honest. All he said was that is James kind of hit on him, and he was asking his fellow staff members if he was single and if he had a Valentine, because Tati Westbrook's birthday is Valentine's Day. And and so at that dinner, he was hitting on the waiter, and the waiter just said that he asked his coworkers if he had a Valentine, if he was single, blah 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 blah. And so that was kind of it for that. But then the waiter dude took it upon himself to DM James and was like, "Hey, I'm bi-curious. I want to hang out." Now, there's a very big difference between DL and bi-curious men. I just want to preface that. So, this dude went over to James' hotel. They hung out, watched a movie, cuddled. And then when James wanted to kiss him, he said, "No, thank you," and wanted to leave. And James kind of threw a fit and was like, "No, don't leave. But he ended up anyway because he felt uncomfortable. Now, that's just one thing, okay? But the Gabe situation is a little different. So I think Gabe was just playing him, to be honest. I think he wanted to go to Coachella and he found a way in, and that's what he did by calling himself bi-curious. But I don't think he was bi-curious. I think he was just straight all along, and he played a game to get where he needed to go. And he did. He went to Coachella. But then when Gabe wouldn't sleep with him, that's when James' friends was like, "Oh, he's using you, he's this, he's that." And then that's when he started subtweeting him on Twitter. Basically, one tweet was like, "Why do all the pretty boys have the worst personalities, or the ugliest personalities," or something like that. But he was subtweeting him like that because he was upset. Now, I find it interesting that both times there has been an issue with a straight dude, not just a DL dude, but a straight dude, supposedly, I guess, if you want. We'll get into that in a minute. But every time there was a situation with a dude that was either bi-curious or DL, and they didn't sleep with him, he threw a fit. Now, I didn't see anything, I haven't seen screenshots or of anything about him threatening someone that because they didn't sleep with him, they were going to ruin him. But some people said they have. But I personally haven't, so I can't really say on that. So, from where I stand, while, yes, his behavior is gross and unacceptable, I think it's a little different than calling someone a predator. Because he's not forcing anyone to have sex with him. He's getting pissed off because they won't have sex with him. And yeah, he's trying to coerce them to have sex with him, but he's never really forced anybody to. He's just being gross about it. Which I guess you can argue coerce is kind of what leads up to people being sexually assaulted, which is true. But to me, it seems more like a tantrum more than kind of a predatory like a sexual assault vibe. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like had these people not been like properly educated
Mm-hmm.
about what to do in that situation, like had they just been like, I guess I should just go through with it because I feel bad because I told this kid I was X, Y, and Z or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think that they would have done something that they didn't want to do?
I think if they were like more influential, maybe. Like if he could like persuade them to, yeah. But thank God it didn't get to that. Thank God it was only him being a little baby about things. But you're right. I mean, it could have led to that, which is why I'm saying like it's not right and it's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people are making out to be like he's basically raped somebody, and that's just not what it was. It was borderlining that and could have possibly happened, but I think to like accuse him of that when it didn't happen is a little bit too much. And the kid is 19. Now, the age thing doesn't give him an excuse. I don't think it does at all. He should know better. But, like, also at 19, like, I don't expect any different from a 19-year-old. I expect them to throw a fit when someone doesn't want to sleep with them. And especially someone that's arrogant and spoiled like he is, he's used to getting what he wants. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't surprise me that he throws a fit when someone doesn't do what he wants. Mm-hmm. But it's still not okay.
Right. And especially when he is, like, air quotes, going after something that he knows
is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's like, I don't understand where he gets off on being pissed off about that when, I don't know.
Cause it's him. But that leads me up to the next point. This whole bi-curious straight dude DL thing that's been going around. So Gabriel Zamora made a Snapchat video where he basically let people know how his inner friend group kind of identified a straight man as. And it kind of leads into the whole statement that James Charles made, no man is straight. There's no such thing as a straight man, which is a dangerous statement. And Gabriel Zamora kind of backed up what he said as like how this group of friends feels, because Gabriel even said that straight men are just DL men. That's basically the gist of what he said about straight men. And that's not true. Down low men are men that are bi or gay that cannot admit it to themselves or admit it to the public. So they're down low, but they like what they like. Straight men...
And they know what they
exactly
already know what they like.
Straight bi-curious men are not DL. Straight bi-curious men are straight men that don't know their sexuality and are trying to figure it out, but can easily figure it out when interacting with other men or other women. So there is such a thing as straight men. There's such a thing as bi-curious men, and they have a right to change their mind whenever they want. That's their prerogative. Mm-hmm. You know, and if someone is telling you that they're bi-curious or straight, you can't get mad when they deny you if they don't feel comfortable with it. Like you knew what it was going into it. So no, not all of men are DL men. There's a very big difference, and I think for him to say there's not and they're all the same thing is not okay. And that's going to get a lot of people in dangerous situations.
Mm-hmm. Well, because if you think about it, it's like taken from a different perspective what he's saying. Like, imagine a straight guy going up to a lesbian and being like, you're not really a lesbian. No one's really fully a lesbian. You like dudes, you just don't know it yet. Like, how creepy and gross is that coming from a dude saying that to a chick? But it's just the other way around.
Right.
It's just creepy.
It's like a double standard.
Yeah.
It's like straight people aren't allowed to queer bait, but gay people are allowed to chase straight people, which doesn't make sense. Like,
and like we were talking about this earlier, but like when you are fucking around with people who are bi-curious, you go into it knowing that the outcome might be those people being straight in the end. Like they're curious. They're not bi-serious. They're bi-curious.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you can't get mad when someone's like, hey, I think I know myself a little bit more after this experience, and I don't think that's what I am. Sorry.
Right.
You just can't. Like, it's like, I don't know. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. But yeah, and like...
But I feel like people always do that, though, to people who are, like, bi-curious. Like, they get pissed off when people who are bi-curious, like, need to experiment, and, like, that's why, like, so many people are like, I won't date bi people, because they're getting people who are bi-curious, like, confused with people who are bisexual. Like, they think people who are bisexual are there to, like, experiment with people.
Right.
When that's not what they're there to do, and that's what bi-curious people are doing. They're, like, experimenting because they need to learn about themselves.
Right.
And, like, that's... I don't know.
No, that's true. I mean, that's right. Like, you just can't do that. And to my knowledge, both of these dudes went in telling him that they were bi-curious.
Yeah.
He knew they were bi-curious. So, like, I think
they weren't playing games.
Right. I think it was just the fact that he is an arrogant, spoiled child, and he wanted what he wanted, and when he couldn't have it, he threw a fit. And it was an ugly fit. But that's also why people need to hold younger people accountable for shit. Like, you need to teach them what's really right from wrong, because he should know by now, and if he doesn't, that's a problem. And his parents should be teaching him that. But apparently, from what Tati says, his mom's too busy on Instagram liking comments. Anyway.
Well, like, with apparently how much he talks about it with them, you would think that someone who is older in his life would be like, this is not how you communicate with people. Like, I don't know. I mean,
Wait. No, that's right. Also, so, let's see. We talked about that. We talked about Gabriel's point. Okay. So, the other thing we need to talk about is a little bit sketchy, to say the least. So, in my opinion, I think this was all kind of set up. I think they set him up a little bit. Because Tati made her video, and then Jeffree Star came out with his tweet about why Nate banned him, and then went on to say that he hasn't seen James or hung out with him since February. But then later, people started to notice, well, if you didn't hang out with him since the birthday, why did you subtweet him underneath that and say that you couldn't wait for him to get home to try his new concealers? That was, like, last month, by the way. So if you haven't seen him or talked to him, why are you acting so friendly with him in the subtweets? Like, that doesn't make sense. And then he went and deleted it. Now, I don't know if that's because he exaggerated and because he knew he fucked up, so he took it away, or was this a little bit kind of planned because people had their feelings hurt? Because the way it kind of seems is, and which I do agree, I think Tati was mad, which she had every right to be, with James about the Sugar Bear Hair promo. I think she had every right to be mad. I think she had every right to call him out on it and all that. However, I think it's a little bit weird that when she calls him out on that, she also goes into depth about his quote-unquote predatory behavior. And then she goes into how much money she's helped him make. And then, on top of all that, she knows what she's doing. She knows she's going to ruin his career. Like, there's no way that wasn't going to. So what I think happened is when all this happened and she was upset because he did that promo, And so when Gabriel Zamora added gasoline to the fire by making that video calling her out, like, I think she snapped. I think she was so pissed that she saw red and said, I'm gonna get him for this, and made that video and then sent it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
And I can't blame her for that. Because I would do the same thing. Like, if you're that, like, narrow-minded to be around somebody that has helped you and has grown your bank account as much as she has, you would think that your loyalty would lie a little bit harder with somebody.
Right.
And then to, like, go to Coachella, be in the VIP section and be mobbed, as you put it, and then ask Nikita Dragon to get a hold of Sugar Bear Hair to get you a promo deal so that way you could have, like, the ultimate pass and the backstage passes. Like, you sold out for that.
I thought it was for security.
It was for both, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like the upgraded pass to what they have has security included. So it was for everything.
Okay.
But, like, you sold out. You sold out, and you did a little promo for a sleeping pill that, for a company which, you drug through the mud. You drug other influencers for supporting them because it's a fucking fucked up brand. By the way, don't get it because it's all sugar and they don't work. Period. And then you just sat there and, like, act like you did nothing wrong. That would be like me having, like, 20 million subscribers and having you as a friend and helping you, getting you to where you needed to be, having you give all this advice so you could get more money out of contracts and shit. Mm-hmm. And then you turning around and promoting somebody with a brand that's a competitor to mine after all I've done for you.
Right.
I don't expect you an exclusivity to you, but I sure as hell would expect the loyalty to hit hard.
Right.
Like, that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you shouldn't have done that. And, like,
or even, like, I think that it would be more understandable if, from what I understand, he, like, didn't even message her or anything. Just be like, hey, just so you know, I did this because I needed this. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like if that was us, I would have been like, just so you know, like, I needed this, so I'm gonna fucking do it. And you'd be like, that's cool. Or whatever.
right.
Like, but, like, there was no communication.
No,
she
just blindsided her.
Yeah, from, like, what the internet is telling us, because right now it seems like everything is fucking fabricated.
Yeah.
But, like, we were talking earlier because fucking Tati said in her video, like, she kept repeating how long she was in the business, and you know, like, everybody knows what a shady business, like, the makeup industry and the beauty industry is. And so it's like, I feel like when you are claiming, like, that you've been in that business and you know how the background works and blah blah blah, when you keep repeating that over and over, I feel like that's like,
it's like a threat.
It's like low-key saying, like, I know how
to fuck you up.
Yeah, in a way, like, I know how to shut people down, too. Just because I'm nice and I haven't doesn't mean I don't know how to do it. And so, like...
Sister snapped.
Yeah, honestly, like, it really is so fucking shady. And honestly, like, that's why I stopped fucking working in the beauty industry. Because, like, it's just, like, so... It's blinding when you get in it. And you don't even see ways that people fuck each other over, like, slowly for, like, a quick fucking buck. And there's no morality to it because there's, like, no sense of wrong and right in that industry. Because, like, everyone is friends on the surface, but no one is actually friends.
Right.
And it's really fucking dark the way it's so easy to fuck people over, and, like, that's just a part of the industry. It's not like something that, like, oh, this specific group of people does. it's not just makeup people.
Right.
That's the fucking beauty industry as a whole. It's shitty, and that's why it's no fucking fun to be in, and why, like, when you're that successful, I feel like you have had to learn how to fuck people over. And I think that she even said that in her video. She's like, you don't get to a place where James got without knowing how to work people.
Right.
And then she claims too that, like, I have also been in this industry and I know how the background works, which is why, like, I'm getting, like, such a sense of, like, you know, I can fucking play you too. Which, like, if she needs to stand up for herself and shit, I don't fucking blame her. I'm not, like, reading her, but, like, I'm just saying, like, I don't think that you should trust any sides of this. Like, the whole thing is just...
There's always three sides of the story. James' side, her side, and somewhere in the middle there's truth.
The truth, right?
And the truth that I think happened is she got mad, and then Gabriel called. First of all, Gabriel should have never opened his mouth. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna keep it 100, like he always says. He should have never opened his mouth. I think if he would have just kept his mouth closed, things would have been a lot better than what they are now. Because had he not opened his mouth, Tati probably would have never made that video.
Right.
I think
like,
I think
went
he
after him because
I think I think he was the last straw.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So
because it's like, imagine if me and you were, like, having beef that we could easily work out, and then, like, some random fucking third party person who, like, you don't know that well and I'm not that good of friends with just, like, felt the need to come in and fucking defend one of us and start snapping at the other one. Like, it's kind of like, you don't know our fucking friendship like that. You're not in it.
Right.
Don't come, like, you know, just
don't get in between
me
it
of shit, like, when you don't know, like, you just don't know the inside of anyone else's relationship at all ever. Like,
also,
it's just such a shitty, annoying thing to do, I think.
I wish people would understand too, like, Gabriel's main point in his video was like, oh, she's crying over vitamins, like, it's not that serious. It's not about vitamins.
Right.
It's never been about her vitamins. It's never been about Sugar Bear Hair's vitamins. It's about loyalty. It's about a woman taking someone under her wing, giving, like, basically building this kid up, being a parent to them, and then one day they just kind of shit on you.
Right.
Like, that's, like, it's about loyalty and character more than it is about an actual product.
Yeah.
Like,
and, like, I guess, like, too, there's kind of, like, there's, like, both sides to that whole, it's like, did he ask for it and this is what she gave in return, or did she just give unsolicited advice because she wanted to help and overstep her boundaries when, like, maybe he didn't want it or need it, and she was just kind of claimed the mom position because she liked him. And, like, because I think that we've all been there, like, from both ends in any relationship where we're, like, where you want to overextend yourself just to help someone even though no one's asked, and then you can get resentful because you're, like, not receiving what you want in return even though nobody asked for that, you know?
I do, but I just thought about this. Do you ever think, like, she did all this because, like, not only was she mad, but, like, when this happened, she thought, I just got played. This kid just played me. He all these years, he made me think that, like, I was a second mom to him, and, like, I was really helping him, and used me for free advice, free legal help, and then he flips the script and doesn't care, and just fucks me over.
Right.
Like you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm sure she definitely feels like that.
So like in revenge, she's like, fine, you want to fuck me over? I'm gonna fuck you over now. You know what I mean? So it's like a revenge plot. And I don't know. There's just, like, so much into it.
It's kind of like, you know, she was clearly has been resentful of him for a long time because she feels really ignored and like she's not receiving respect from like a relationship that she's putting a lot of work into.
Right.
But also like the age thing is kind of valid just because of the fact that she's how old, like 37 or something.
Something like that.
Like, and I'm not saying that like you have to be in any point in your life emotionally by any age or anything, but like when you are so much older than someone, I think you have to kind of understand that they're gonna go off and do their own thing, especially someone who's not really an adult yet. Like if someone who just turned 19, if I was putting all of this work into shit, I wouldn't really expect them to come back and
right,
because like I don't know, it's kind of like a kid and parent situation. Like it's like, you know how your parents are always fucking bugging you, just like, oh, why don't you visit me, blah 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 blah, but then it's sometimes you're just like, if your parents are overwhelming you, you can't, you just have to be like, look, I'm an adult now, like I get that you raised me, but
I'm doing my own shit.
I have to do my own thing. Boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, so I wonder if, like, she has that kind of situation where she's like, I'm your mom. I raised you. So you owe me this.
Maybe.
And, like, whether it's intentional or not, like, parents don't intentionally do that either.
Right.
But, like, I'm sure she started to resent it because he's, like, not giving back. But maybe he didn't feel the need to give back because he was like, well, you're like my mom, like I don't owe you anything, like you don't owe your parents shit just because they birthed you, kind of.
Right, but also the only thing I'm curious about, and I'm sure it'll happen at some point, why is James not defending himself? Why is he not saying anything? Why is he letting, if all of this is false and not true and lies, why would you not make your own video and this is your life, you have all the information to prove it, like why would you not sit down and say, here's the messages, here's what happened, here's what I was thinking, instead of that 8-minute bullshit apology like that's kind of where I get kind of like curious about things, because I'm like, I want to believe that you're not this much of a piece of shit. But also, like, you're not really telling me that it's a lie.
Right.
You're not saying anything, which leads me to believe maybe not all, but maybe a majority of it is true. And you just can't say anything because there's no proof. It's just what it is. And the proof you do have will prove otherwise. Right. You know what I mean?
Well, he could be just, like, taking the time. Because you remember last year when Manny and Laura responded like within a day
24
or two,
hours, yeah.
And, you know, they hadn't thought about anything. They hadn't learned.
They were bad videos.
And they were like, I'm going to take time off. And then they took like a week off and came back and they're like, I really learned. And it's like, no, we're not asking you to learn from a week of thinking. We're asking you to learn an actual life lesson and understand why.
We're asking you to be human.
Right.
That's it.
So I think like he's first of all, he's probably fucking stressed out. Like,
I think he needs help. Personally.
Yeah.
Well, not only for the whole straight chasing thing, but also the fact that literally, okay, this is the sad part. Okay, the kid is 19. He's literally lost everybody. Every person that has been in his life up till now that he was best friends with or good friends with has turned their back, unfollowed him, will not speak to him. And now Morphe will probably drop him because everybody is telling Morphe to drop his ass. So there's a good chance that he'll lose that too.
Yeah.
And I think that's really sad. I will give it. It's sad to watch like a young kid get destroyed like this.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a good life lesson for you. Don't shit where you eat.
Don't get too big for your britches.
Yeah. Lose the arrogance. Be humbled a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's like... Bruh.
Sorry, there's a cat in a litter box, and he's just, like, staring at me while he takes a shit. Anyway.
Yeah, it is sad. Because, like, you wish that he could, like, be fucking humbled.
Yeah.
without it being so like so dramatic.
Dramatized. Yeah, just be normal. Just sit down and be like, look, I fucked up. This is what I did, ABC. This is what I'm sorry for, ABC. And if you're not sorry, just say, I'm not fucking sorry, period. And guess what? I'll respect that a lot more than you giving me a bullshit 8-minute video.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me, I fucked her over, I don't feel bad. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, I think YouTubers are so, like,
they try to be so calculated about the way that they move and
it's just
do things when
be
all
human.
all people want is like honesty.
Tell me how you really feel.
Exactly.
You know? Ugh,
because
I don't know.
like as much as like him being a predator and shit is gross and shit, he was fucking authentic for like 1 second. And like if you could just be authentic and realize that you don't want to treat people like that because that's wrong, because manipulating people I mean in any way is wrong.
Right.
We all manipulate people every day in small ways that we don't realize, but you can't fucking manipulate someone's sexuality. You can't manipulate someone to fuck you, like
right. I mean you can, but that's called sexual assault.
Right. And like you can't just do shit like that and then not expect shit like this to happen when people have openly told you.
Right.
You realize what you're doing is shitty, right?
Right.
And then be like, it doesn't matter because I'm famous. And then not expect something to happen.
Right.
Like, if you're not going to listen.
Also, I just want to say this real quick. Can we stop saying young men? Because I've been seeing a lot of things on videos and comments about how he's a predator to younger people. Okay, let's get this straight. The men that he was going after were probably the same age as he was, if not older. So can we stop making it sound like he was like going into a fucking elementary school and trying to like rape little kids? Like that's not how it was. So let's calm down with that, because it's getting a little too far. Like you're pushing it to the limit here. You're reaching and there's nowhere to reach. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy that this has been like. It's just been like because it has felt like he's dodged so many shitty things that he's done and said, and it's just weird that this is the thing that takes him down. Like is that just, I mean, he's said a lot of really hurtful shit that like
that's weird.
Some shit he has apologized for, however unauthentic it has been, but there's a lot of really shitty things that he said that he hasn't apologized for, which no one mentions. And then, you know, Toddy makes the video and now everything is up in arms. And it really, like, kind of does feel like it's just because of the vitamins, because it's like that's what started it, really. And now it's like, it's turned into this whole other thing. It's just so weird.
Well,
so random.
Well, also a lot of people were like talking about how it's kind of like white on white crime. So it's like, it's getting blown up out of proportion. But
yeah.
I don't know.
My only thing is like, not like as much as a question why they're doing it, but also like I have questions like, I don't know why Gabriel and Jeffrey decided to chime in when this clearly is not their fight. But like also I get why they both chimed in, because they're both shit stirrers and they like I feel like if they like smell the blood, they're there. They're like,
I'm gonna eat, yeah.
Hi, I heard
we love you, Jeffree
drama.
Star, by the way. We actually love you. Buy your products.
I mean, but like legit, they
no,
are.
No, I get it though. I mean, it's true. They're both shit stirrers. Like if there's drama, they want to be in the middle of it, which I can't blame them. I mean, that's just they're well, not so much Gabriel, but Jeffree alone has like built his career off of controversial shit, off of not being PC and not being quiet. Like that's his whole brand. Also, can we stop with the fucking if you're canceling James Charles, you have to cancel Jeffree Star too? Can we please stop that? There's a huge difference on what's happening. yes, Jeffree Star has said some shitty fucking things in the past, but first of all, that was back in fucking, what, 2000? And before, probably? Like, it's a lot different than it was back then. Like, I'm sorry, but it is. It's a generational thing. Things just aren't the same as they were. Like, James Charles grew up in a different time area than all of we did.
Well,
So,
I kind of have a theory too about the straight chasing thing involving Jeffree.
oh my god, that too.
And it's not as much as like he was creepy towards Nate or Nate's brother, whoever what. But I think that with James being young, like it's like people always talk about how impressionable young people are, and James literally still has the word teen in his age, so I feel like that should give you like an idea of how impressionable he might be.
Right.
And like think about his surroundings, and like the idea that Tati could have been a mentor is like makes sense, but also he did hang around Jeffree a lot. And like I'm not like shitting on anyone, but I think that especially the whole being inappropriate, because that's what a lot of what Tati mentioned in her video about how he like has no filter for what is inappropriate during what situations. And I feel like he had to learn a lot of that from Jeffree, because Jeffree, I feel like, I mean, he's on Snapchat all the time. Like, you ever just want to wake up and suck a dick? Like, shit like that. Like, I feel like he's taking notes. Like, James was taking notes about, like, oh, he can do it. That maybe that's where I want my brand to go. Maybe he's going through his fucking phase where he's like, what you don't think that he could have learned?
I have a few answers.
Learned that from him, or
one, no? James Charles could never be in the same.
Oh no, I'm
brand
not
as Jeffree
saying
Star.
that like that's what
Like, wouldn't even work for him. Period. Second of all,
I mean, I agree, but
I can kind of see that. I can kind of see the whole he was learning from Jeffree Star. And yes, Jeffree has a way of saying some weird shit at random times. However, Jeffree Star is not going to business meetings saying, I want to suck cock.
That's what I'm saying is that, like, because James is young, I mean, I'm not saying he's, like, a fucking incapable, business-minded person, but I feel like he looked at the adults around him. He saw Jeffree Star, but he didn't see how he worked in business. He didn't understand, like, oh, don't say this in front of my family members. Don't say this in front of my fucking my best friend's parents or whatever. Like, he never got that side of, like, that learning.
Right. Also, let's just be clear. Jeffree Star does not straight chase. Jeffree Star and Nate were two consenting adults that talked to each other and then formed a relationship. So, for people that are saying that Jeffree Star straight chases too, that's not true. Because
I think it's also different for Jeffree because he, like, identifies
he's
nowhere.
He's androgynous, but also, like, there's a difference between what Nate and Jeffree have than what is happening with James and these straight men. Like, Nate is a straight man who happens to date Jeffree Star, the only person that is assigned male at birth, basically. Other than that, he's been with all women. And if he wants to identify as straight, that's his prerogative. But to say that Jeffree Star straight chases, that's a bit of a reach.
Right.
Like, your back hurts. Like, stop. I don't know. It's just weird because it'd be so much different if, like, James Charles was kind of in the same boat as Jeffree Star. Like, had James Charles, like, started his career in a very fucking crazy ass way like Jeffree did, it'd be a little different because then no one would be shocked. But, like, you can't start your career as cover girl and end it in slutty teenager. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just doesn't work. You can't rebrand yourself this late in the game. Like, as much as that sucks, you can't do that because people are not gonna like that.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm kind of tired of it.
I am too, just because it's like the whole thing sucks. Like,
yeah, it sucks that he's like bombing. By the way, he's lost 3 million subscribers and Tati has gained all 3 million. I'm just saying. First of all, I don't know. I just think
It's sad because like there's no part of this that like
no one wins.
no one wins, and it just like I feel like it's like putting other people on a pedestal. Like when people think about this friendship being ruined, they like think about their own shit, and they're like whether they have or have not been shitty people or whatever, you know.
Right.
Like I don't know, it's you just like it's just sad
Yeah, it is sad all the way
because
around.
it's like
Poor Shane Dawson.
what happened with him.
He's just sad about it all. Like it like the drama got to him, which is why Shane could never be in the drama. Like
The beauty industry?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fucking beauty industry. And I feel so bad
Well,
for him, but
it is sad. Like it fucking sucks. Just why do people have to be like this? Like it's just the whole thing is fucking greedy. Like James betraying Tati is greedy. Him fucking chasing people who are not interested is kind of greedy. Like, and it makes me wonder what his interest in straight men is. Like, why? Like,
could he have a secret?
I don't honestly. I feel like it has a lot to do with like the entire gay community shaming femme people.
That's true.
Because like, I just feel like that's like, what's it called? When you like hate yourself because of what society tells you.
Low self-esteem.
No, it's like internalized. He has like internalized
Homophobia.
Like, kind of. It's like what's it like? What do people who don't like femme people call?
Anti-femme.
Yeah.
Mask for mask.
It's like internalized internalized anti. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just because he's seen it so much, because like, ooh, like I feel like that's like how he's like trained himself to want people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And like he like doesn't value like balanced femininity.
Right. Also, I think, because you mentioned earlier, I think when people learn stuff, I think James might have learned that from Nikita. I'm not gonna lie. Because
learn what?
The straight chasing.
Oh.
Because I think him and Nikita have been friends for a while. And Nikita Dragon's always said that she's a straight chaser. But it's very different for Nikita Dragon. So
Right.
I'm like, if he did learn it from her, I'm like, fair, but also very different situation.
Right.
So I'm like,
she's a woman, and
I think this boy just needs some guidance. I think he needs help. I think he needs to just chill. I think he needs to stop letting this fame go to his head. Like, if you want, you can give me half your bank account. You know, like we can make it humble a little bit. It'll be fine. I don't know. I hope he gets help. I hope he's okay, because I would honestly be really fucking depressed if I had some shit like this go down.
me too.
So,
Like, this whole thing is just sad.
it's a lot.
I don't want to even really fucking talk about it, like, after this. I'm just like,
Probably not. This is probably the last video I'll make on it, because it's pretty sad. This young kid's, his career is pretty much going down the tank at this point, but
I honestly, I think he'll survive it. He just
oh,
has
he
to wait it out.
will. He will. It's just gonna suck because this is probably the worst scandal he's had, probably.
Yeah, but
He'll have another one. It'll blow over and he'll have another one.
right. Exactly.
I mean, I definitely think he'll come back better than Manny and Laura did.
Yeah.
Because Manny and
Who
Laura...
was it? Someone said, "Oh, isn't it good to be Manny right now?" I was like,
Manny's
damn.
living his best life right now. He's like, I'm glad I'm not the bitch that's getting punked out right now. Like,
But still, like, I feel like people just really need to reevaluate the entire beauty industry. Like, people keep saying, why are like all these influencers constantly problematic? And it's like, well, first of all, because everyone is problematic. Like, whether you want to believe it or not, everyone is. And like, second of all, it's like, the industry is shitty, and you combine it with like social media that doesn't really understand itself. People don't really know how to conduct themselves and like don't really know how to communicate, on top of the fact that the people coming into it are really, really young. So
That's
like
true.
they don't really like know themselves,
Right.
and know how they want to interact with other people. I mean, that's like a really hard thing to learn. I feel like I'm not even that young and I still don't know that. Like, so it's just like a fucking combination of just really shitty things.
All together.
And I feel like people just really need to like learn that like the beauty industry is fucking dark. And that's it. Like, I think that people think it's not, and I don't really understand why, with all that is constantly happening, like how evil people can be to each other for basically for money.
Beauty is not so beautiful.
It really fucking isn't. It really isn't.
It's shady and it's
really-
dark.
and it's sad. Like,
And there's alleys.
because it's like, think about it, like these like people are really giving up like actual valuable relationships and things for money, like, and it's like fucked. Like, I just can't imagine doing that, like, for you. You know, like, if we had fucking made it and someone was like, you want to make a quick meal or you want to lose your best friend forever, I'd be like,
Give
well,
me that
give me the fucking meal. Fuck that bitch.
meal.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I just think that's fucked. Like,
And do you know what's even worse? When you get right down to the bare necessity of it, all this happened because you wanted the next tier up in a Coachella level ticket. Honestly, that's the core of all this.
mm-hmm.
You needed the next level tier of a Coachella ticket
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
weekend.
Cause like he had,
Hope that was worth it.
I feel like he like, no, it wasn't. Cause like definitely the gross stuff he said to the guys would have blown over, I think, had the
yeah.
Toddy thing not happened.
Mhm.
Because I
Yeah,
feel
for sure.
like that happened a little bit ago, and they were talking about it, and people didn't care.
No, and they wouldn't have, but it was because Tati made her video
Yeah,
that it mattered.
yeah. Because I mean, he like,
Learn your place. Basically. Like, you gotta learn where to fucking let it go and where to fucking ride it. And you fucked with the wrong guru. Like, she might have been your mommy figure, but she fucking took you out. Like, Toddy straight up assassinated your career, and that's on everything. And guess what? I guarantee you, she sold $1 million worth of that fucking Hey Halo Beauty. Because I'm going to buy some when I get money.
I was just saying that. I was thinking that you were gonna go get some too.
Hell yeah, I'm going to go get some. I'm gonna fuck that shit up. I want some good ass skin. Not some fucking sugar bear hair bullshit. That shit is so gross.
How long did you?
All
take
of the
that for?
listeners right now, do not get sugar bear hair fucking vitamins. They're bullshit. Don't take them.
Okay, but how long did you take those for?
What, the sugar bear hair? Like 2 months.
Jesus. How long did they claim like you'll be able to see a difference?
Well, some claimed it within a week.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
But see, Tati's brand, she even said, if you're gonna do it, you need to do it at least for like a month and a half to 2 months before you'll start seeing results. Which is more realistic.
Right.
But her brand is also way more affordable.
Is it?
Like if I got both of her stuff, it's like $70 for sugar bear hair. For both of her vitamins, well, now she has 3, but when I got them, they were 2. $100 and some.
For vitamins.
Yeah. So hers is way more affordable than anything. But, you know.
Yep. Mhm. I don't even wanna. That's just crazy.
But anyway. Anything else? I think we touched everything.
That's happening with this drama.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I mean, I don't know what Shane has said about it.
Shane didn't
Other
really
than
say
he's
anything
sad.
about it. I think he just... The only other thing he said before, besides the sad thing, was that he liked Tati.
Yeah.
And that him and Tati's thing wasn't anything malicious. It was just hanging out.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we all know that Shane is kind of in Jeffrey's court.
Well, yeah, but also Shane wouldn't sell people out, though. Like, if he honestly felt like something wasn't right, he would be like, yo, this isn't cool.
Right.
Which is kind of why he made that post saying, you know, like, this is not good to, like, watch someone lose everything.
Yeah.
So, like, I think while he's, like, friends with Jeffrey, I think, like, him, like, posting that was kind of like, that's really fucking sad that this happened to James. Like, that's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So, good on Shane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's like, you don't want to take sides.
Well, no. You never do.
There's things that he has done that, like, just hands down are fucking super wrong.
But also...
But, like, you don't want to take sides because I just can't believe anything that anyone says in that industry at all.
That's true. But also, Tati, Jeffree Star, I'm your girl. Inbox me. I'll promo you.
Where I would never sell out.
I'm on your side.
Later, you're like, call me if you need a promo.
Fuck yeah, they got good brands. I'll fucking promo for you. I got 2 subscribers, but I'll do it.
Whatever.
You know. Was there anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Alright, guys. Well, that's it for this video. Yeah. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think. This is a shit show, so I'm sure a lot of you have opinions. But yeah, share, like this video, subscribe, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Wow, okay.